Hi everyone. Last time we have talked about the complaint. Today we will focus on the claim. Claim can be used as noun or verb. First being noun, it is often used with verb to make a phrase, meaning 索赔. Here is a lodge, raise, file, make, lay, register a claim. If we want to express 向某人索赔, we use preposition against, lodge a claim against somebody. 由于某种原因提出索赔 we use preposition for to lodge a claim. For example, to lodge a claim. For damage, poor packing. 对货物提出索赔多少金额 we would express like to lodge a claim for $10,000 on the goods. In conclusion, lodge a claim against somebody. File a claim for certain reason. Raise a claim on shipment of goods. Make a claim for certain amounts. Claim also used as a verb. 索赔美元1000元 to claim $10,000. 要求赔偿美元1万元 to claim a compensation of $10,000. 因损坏而赔偿美元1000元 to claim $1,000 for damage. 对该货物索赔美元1000元 to claim $1,000 on the goods. Now please take a look at the learning objective. First, you should understand some background knowledge, such as the definition of claim and the classification of complaints, and claim and the reasons for making claim. Then you should master some useful language expressions and know some basic structure of claiming letters. First, let's look at the definition of claim. In international trade, on execution of a sales contract, the buyer and the seller must perform their obligation strictly. If one of them breaches the contract, the other may run into trouble or suffer great losses. In this case, the sufferer one would make a request for compensation. It is called claim. Claim is to request the responsible party to make up the losses and according to the relevant provisions under the contract. And the claim letters aim to convince the reader that the claimant has a legitimate complaint, which deserves a desired response. The claim letter should be professional and well arranged. Otherwise, the writer cannot receive positive feedback in his favor. Therefore, the affected party, in consideration of good relation with the other party, or the loss incurred being minor one, sometimes does not lodge a claim against the supplier, but rather make a complaint to him to make sure that such things will not happen again. So claim is complaint, but it is a legitimate complaint. The reasons for making a claim, which actually are nearly the same as the cause of making a complaint, which we have talked about last time. Now let's come to the skills of writing letters claim. Writing a claim letter usually consists of the following structure. Number one, point out the relevant contract number and the problems. Number two, list the specific problems and the seriousness of the problem. Number three, the specific requirements and remedies. Number four, the conclusion. Let's take a look at them in detail. A claim letter would begin with the receipt of goods and then list the specific problems. Here are the example. Number one, we should lodge a claim against the insurance company for the goods damaged during transit. Number two, we should claim $15,000 from you for the loss caused by the improper packing. Number three, we must regret to have asked you to compensate us for such losses as extra expenses at our end, owing to your late arrival of your LC. Accompanying the problems, we should provide the evidence if there is. Here are the examples. Number one, to support our claims, we must enclose one copy of each of the inspection certificates number 909 and 908 together with our statements of claims, which amount to 7,612. Number 2, we are enclosing a cutting sample from the goods we received. You will admit that these materials do not come up to the sample on which we pass you the order. Number 3, with regard to the loss in weight, we are enclosing a surveyor report in order to prove to you that the loss could only have occurred before shipment. Following the problems and its evidence, we should state a solution or remedies. Please look at the example. Number 1, such being the case, we have no choice but cancel our order and ask you to compensate us for our loss. Number 2, we should lodge a claim against you for all the losses on the last shipments for the amount of $5,000. Number 3, as goods are not identical with the LC, we have no choice but cancel this transaction. After we give our solution, if there are some other requirements, we can write here, for example. Number 1, shall we return the damaged goods to you or hold them at your disposal? Number 2, as the materials are quite unsuitable to the needs of our customer, we are holding the goods at your disposal. Number 3, we reserve the right to claim compensation from you for any loss. Finally, we end the letter with goodwill. Look at the example. Thank you for your cooperation. Your prompt settlements should be appreciated. We feel sure that you will give our claims your most favorable consideration and let us have your settlements at an early date. Now let's look at some sample letters of claim. First, claim for defective goods.
Dear sirs, we should like to draw your attention to the defective goods shipped by SS Pearl River on July 2, 2020. Upon unpacking the case, we found the quality much inferior to the sample on which we approved before. As evidence, we are enclosing a copy of survey report by the Commodity Inspection Bureau of Shanghai for your attention. We are now in a very awkward situation because our clients who have been very strict about the quality are very impatient to take delivery of the goods. We sincerely hope that you will immediately take this matter into your careful consideration and favor us with a prompt solution by fax. Yours faithfully.
The writer states the problem inferior quality to the example, with evidence a copy of SAVER report by the Commodity Inspection Bureau of Shanghai. It means the reader should be responsible for the problem and make a prompt solution. The second, claim for damaged goods.
Dear Mr. Smith, claim for damaged vases under SC number 897. The shipment of 250 vases on the SC number 897 reached us May 18th, but we have to say that, on opening the case with great care, most of the vases were found arriving in damaged condition. The person in charge at the John Glassware Company told me that the goods left the premises in perfect condition and that they were carefully packed. The shipment documents held is proof enough that the goods were received by the carrier in good condition. Therefore we can form a judgment that the damage must have happened en route. We enclose one copy each of the following documents regarding the shipment mentioned above. 1 Survey Report No. CR 2150. Insurance Policy Notice 7802. Invoice number 789. The BL. For the damage we have to file a claim amounting to $378 plus inspection fee, and we look forward to your settlement as soon as you can. Yours sincerely, Thomas Brown.
Here we can see in the claim letter, the writer lists convincing evidence for his claim and states clearly we should be responsible for the damage. The reader have no choice but to make compensation for the loss. Contrast with the letters of complaint and claim, we find that the letter of complaint is to make the reader promise not to let it happen again in the future, while the letter of claim needs to make a compensation for loss with a convincing evidence. Well, today we have learned what is the claim and the reasons for making claims are the same as complaints. And through the sample letters, we learn the basic structure of writing a claim. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.